Well, good evening everyone. It's Tropical Plants at 53 degrees and it's actually, we're about 6:30. It's about 6:30 at night in the evening. I was just thinking of the time then because I've got to go and collect my daughter from dance in a few minutes. But I thought I'd jump on and tell you about a particular plant today. I'm going to do a spotlight today. The temperature at the moment, it's 4 degrees outside, so it's very cold. So my heater, and I'll just point it, I'll probably see it down there. There it is, over there. There you go. There. My heater is currently costing me about £2.50 in a 24-hour period. That's because at the moment it's not very sunny and it's obviously going to go down to below 0 Celsius tonight. So I expect that the heat is going to be on rather a lot. During the day, if it's cloudy, then it's also going to be on as well. So it's costing me double what I kind of anticipated, really. So I'm sorry if the lighting's not very good. I've only got one. I've got one light up there, one LED light. There it is. It's too bright to see, really. It's a really good light. It was only about £30 off eBay, but I could really do with another one because where I'm going to show you now, over in the corner, it's a little bit darker, and just as I've said that, the heater's kicked on. So I will just flip you round and then we'll go and have a look at a particular plant. Okay, so if you can join me, and we're just going to head over into the left-hand corner of the tropical greenhouse. The beauty that we're going to go and have a look at is filling the corner there, and it's called Dipladenia Sanderi. Now, for some reason, I'm just going to grab the label. It's a bit dark. Now, I've written Dipladenia Sandera there, and I'm pretty sure I copied it correctly, but it could well have been wrong on the label, because when I've looked it up, it's Dipladenia Sanderi with an I at the end. So let me just show you. We'll just show you where it extends from. I'll try and keep out the light as I do that. So it starts, its pot is down here. So there's the pot, and then it goes, there's a little bit off to the side there, and then it starts to move upwards, and we've got a couple of shoots. We've got this shoot going off over here, up, round, and it just ends there. Just tuck it in, and then back to where we started, and it goes up round there, through the corner, and it's flowering all the way, as you can see, and then up past the nepenthes, and at the moment in mid-November, and it's stopped there, which is about, well, I'm 6'6", so it's just about a couple of inches taller than me. So if I just swing out again, so you can see, I mean, I actually bought this in springtime, about April time. It's quite a sizable plant already, and the pot is probably about a 12 centimetre pot. You'll have to excuse me flipping from centimetres to inches. I tend to work in centimetres really, but for some reason we all use height in feet and inches. I don't know why. So I just want to show you one of these flowers close up. Again, the lighting's not brilliant, and I don't know if you can tell, but the texture of these flowers is it's such a velvety texture. They're an absolutely stunning flower. And again, like we talked about with the Streptocarpus, this has been in constant flower from when I bought it in April, and as you can see, it actually seems to be more flower now than it's been all along. It's just a beautiful plant, and I'd never seen these before. I bought it from the local garden centre. It was just sold as like an in our country anyway, like an annual climber, a bit like you would use a morning glory, because obviously we get frost, so we tend to use what are really tropical plants or even Mediterranean plants that don't like frost, but we plant them in our gardens in the springtime, and then because they flower so quickly, they have the uses, and then it comes around to frost and it just kills them, and people just expect to use them like that. They're quite cheap. You pop them in the ground, get the best out of them, and then once they've died in the autumn with the first frost, you chuck them out. So I thought this would be a great idea to stick it in the tropical greenhouse. And it's actually just what I was looking for, even though I didn't know that at the time when I bought it. It has the perfect features for what I want it for, because obviously my greenhouse at the moment is, it's certainly not the kind of a jungle effect that I'm after yet, because I just don't have enough plants for that. But from what I've been reading about this plant, this will be perfect for that kind of situation. So Dipladenia sanderi, and it comes from Brazil. It's actually, another name is a Brazilian jasmine. It's supposedly fragrant, but I've only been able to detect that when the sun's on it, and it's a very, very, you can only just tell, you can only just detect it. It's certainly not a very strong fragrance, and I can't smell anything now, and if I stick my nose right in it. It's a vine, and it's a mandevilla vine. It apparently grows at its best 60 centimetres a year, and I can attest to that. It's actually grown more than 60 centimetres for me, probably double that. It was first kind of recognised and described way back in 1896 by a guy called W.B. Hemsley of Kew Gardens in London. And obviously, lots of these plants get changed and reclassified, and this was no different. So in its native habitat over in Brazil there, the problem with filming on a phone is that you get text in the middle of it. Apologies. Okay, get back to it. So it can grow up to a shrub of 2 to 3 metres high and same kind of width, but it is a vine, and it obviously it needs something for support to do that, and it forms these thick, woody, twining trunk as it does that, and branches. If you do have to prune it, which I've had to do a couple of times in different places, it very easily leaks like a white latex substance, which is quite toxic. So don't suck on the end of any latex. It doesn't mind drought, so you're not. It's not too keen on being watered, very, very heavily, and you really must let it dry out. Every couple of weeks, I find I need to water it, but I do let it dry. I let it go completely dry in the pot, and it seems quite happy with that. It supposedly flowers from spring to autumn. Now, I'm not really sure whether they're referring there to, this was Wikipedia, so I would have guessed they're referring to any country. But obviously, we're well into autumn now, and it's still going strong, and it's still producing new buds. There's a couple of new buds there. So it certainly doesn't show any signs of slowing down, which is just what I want. It likes high humidity, which it gets here, and that's pretty much it as far as the Dipladenia sanderi goes. And what I'm hoping for to happen is that it'll grow, and I'll just put my finger here, right the way up there, and then notice up here I've got these bars that I put to hang things from, so I'm hoping to train it up there and along the bars, because if it can go 2 to 3 metres, that will be fantastic. Because it's such a fantastic climber, and it's it's not huge in terms of taking up space, I'm going to have a look, see if I can find out how to get cuttings from it and see if I can grow it from another spot in the greenhouse. I think that'll be great. So that's spotlight on Dipladenia sanderi, and I was hoping, I did start growing a Hoya. I'll just flip you around to the Hoya over here. And what I've done here with the Hoya is I've just tied it in along these wires, but I don't think I'm going to leave it like that actually. It went a certain distance and then it just stopped, and I think I might actually take that down and just have it as a, just like a straight up and down hanging pot. I think it might look nicer like that really. It's because it flowers along these long vines, or these long shoots. So I thought it'd be nice having the flowers dotted along, but mine's not flowered for me yet. Anyway, this isn't a spotlight on a Hoya, but that's just to demonstrate. That was what I was hoping for the Hoya, that it was going to be a little bit more like this Dipladenia. But maybe I've not got the climate right there. The Hoya is in like a shady spot. So if we're talking about where the Dipladenia is, it is actually in a shady spot, even though it doesn't supposedly like those kind of areas. It likes, as always, the usual bright, well lit, but not direct sun through glass kind of situation, which the vast majority of plants seem to like. But it doesn't seem to mind. It's growing fine. As far as what it's in, well, it's in the pot that it came in, so I don't know. But just sticking my finger in the soil, it's just a general purpose potting compost that you would find 99% of the plants in the UK in garden centres come in. Certainly nothing special. Ordinary, moisture retentive, fairly well drained kind of a soil. It's recommended that you feed it during the growing season every couple of weeks. Again, because they're not that fussy, I just stick a couple of those little feeding sticks in I was talking about the other day. I'll just whiz around again and just point those out, just in case you've not seen that video. Let me just see if I can. There you go. You can get them on Amazon, eBay. This one's, I think it's German. I was looking at this and I thought, is it German? Is it Dutch? I'm not really sure. But there are all sorts of these feeding sticks for plants, and you just stick a couple of those in, and that lasts a few months, and you're away. You don't need to even think about it again. So that's Dipladenia sanderi, and I hope maybe that's given you some thought as to what you want to grow. I think it'd be great for a conservatory. Or a sunroom of some sort. Like I say, it's not got huge leaves, it doesn't take up loads of room, so I think in terms of flower power, if that's a term, it's just perfect for my needs. And it takes very little care and attention. It's gorgeous, and I think I'm going to grow some more. I don't know if they do them in any different colours. I've not seen any, but we'll have to get some of the plant specialists to work on it and see if we can get some different colours. But yeah, this was really, again, what I wanted. They're very like morning glory kind of flowers, and I'm going to do a video on my morning glory flowers, because they are. I'll just swizz round to my morning glory. These are my morning glory, and they're anything but glorious. This comes under the term or the phrase of things I'm struggling with, because I can get them to germinate easy as anything, but I cannot for the life of me get them beyond about a foot tall, and the leaves just start changing colour, losing the colour, and nothing else happens, and that's it. So anyway, we'll discuss that on another video. So yeah, I'll leave you with a glorious picture of Dipladenia sanderi. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video on Dipladenia sanderi. So just before we go, I was going to show you something, but I think I'm going to leave it till the next video. It's a plant that certainly Brad talked about as, he wished that he had more of them in the greenhouse, because they give such a fantastic scent of chocolate which fills the greenhouse. I thought to myself, well, I would love to have the smell of chocolate in the greenhouse. So I bought one of these things. I actually had it shipped over from Thailand, and I was really worried that it would be completely, frosted and ruined on that such a massive journey. And in actual fact, it wasn't. It was in a really good condition. I was very impressed. and it's been in spike now probably since about May time. Okay, sorry about that interruption. My alarm went off to tell me that I need to go and pick my daughter up from dance, so I better get my skates on here. So yeah, I was going to show you this this plant, but I'm not going to show you. I'll save it for another video. But I was thinking that it was going to flower in August when I was away on my holiday, and it didn't actually flower then, and it's taken much longer than I anticipated. It's been in spike ever since, and the buds are only just beginning to burst now. There's about a quarter of them, third of them in bloom. But so far, no scent of chocolate, unfortunately. No Willy Wonka's chocolate factory in Jeff's tropical greenhouse. So maybe it needs the sun on it, I don't know. Maybe we need a few more flowers open. But it's not going to get any sun now this time of year. So we'll see what happens. So if anybody knows what they think it is, please make a comment below, and we'll see if you're right. And I guess until next time, if you enjoyed this video and you like discussing the smell of chocolate, please give it a like, and otherwise I will see you on the next one. Bye.